Our version of Christianity today really doesn't look at the Christian life as a wartime faith. We have more of a peacetime faith, don't we? There's a stark difference between the two. In wartime, we're always asking the question, how can I sacrifice to advance the cause? How can I spend every resource I have? How can I best contribute to accomplishing the mission? We're making sacrifices. We're not indulging in pleasantries. We're trying to figure out how best to accomplish the mission. Sacrifice everything toward that. Peacetime, pleasantries is the name of the game. We ask questions like, how can we be more comfortable, and how can we have more fun, and how can we try new pleasures that we never have experienced before? There's a wartime and a peacetime way to approach life and Christianity. See the difference between the two in a ship. It's now docked in the harbor of Long Beach, California, called the Queen Mary. It was built earlier in the 20th century as a luxury liner with a whole array of indulgences designed to entice wealthy patrons. It could fit up to 3,000 wealthy patrons on it at one time. Larger, more massive than even the Titanic. What's interesting is, though, for 6 years during World War II, when the country was in a state of national emergency, they took this same ship and they called upon the ship to help with transporting troops. And all of a sudden, the ship was transformed from a luxury liner into a source of transport for troops. Whereas 3,000 people could get on it before, now it could transport 15,000 soldiers at one time. The whole ship was completely turned upside down to accommodate for accomplishing a mission instead of accommodating pleasures for wealthy patrons. You go today to this ship, it's now a museum basically to its history, and what you can see is in some places they have it designed for troop transport, and they see 8 bunks high where people would sleep. Everything, every detail was used to accomplish mission. And then you can look in another room and you can see it designed as a luxury liner for people to enjoy the pleasures of the ship. I would ask you, which image better describes Christianity in our context today? In our lives, in our families, in our homes, and in this church. And I would put before us, let's consider the cost, ladies and gentlemen. What would happen if we looked square in the face of 4.5 billion plus people on this planet who are headed to a Christless eternity, and we looked square in the face of 30,000 children today who are dying from either hunger or diseases, and we said, we're not going to use this ship anymore, our lives, our families, this church, we're not going to use it to indulge our pleasures and sit by the pool and ask for more hors d'oeuvres to be delivered to us. Instead, we're going to transform everything to say, how can we give our lives for the sake of accomplishing this mission? It's a radically different way to look at Christianity. And Jesus says, consider the cost. You're warriors going into a battle. Are you wanting to get in the battle, or do you want to sit back? This is the question he puts before us. Jesus says you have radically different priorities when you're my disciple.